What is going on, everyone? Gonna give some people some time to get in and also set up the share for YouTube. We're gonna be talking about the elephant in the room taking over Twitter. If you've been looking at or follow Cardstarter or are involved in the DeFi scene, have any dealings with SundaeSwap, it's almost impossible to ignore the drama going on in the space right now. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, well, you're about to learn a lot. So I've been doing a lot of searching, a lot of researching throughout the day. So let me go ahead and get the links tweeted out so we can get started. Share a link here, copy. Might as well grab the link and share it maybe to the Telegram. Oops. Copy that. Might as well grab the link and share it maybe to the Telegram. Oh, so the live looks good. 4K. What's going on, Eric? Gonna get ready and see what's up here. Oh wow, they put the Telegram on slow mode. It was on 15-minute slow mode earlier. Now it looks like it's on 5-minute slow mode. Pull up the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. I've not followed CardSwap for a while. Same. So let me start with how I found out about this and, seen any of this, how any of this came about for me. So I've really been learning and just self-educating on a lot of this stuff, a lot of Cardano DeFi, or just DeFi in general. So I've been going back, looking at Ethereum, looking at when they launched, the first DEXs, how they worked, a lot of the other projects that launched originally. Waiting for the drama. Oh, the drama is here. Oh my God, that their official Telegram. I don't even understand how they are even allowing this conversation to even happen in their own Telegram group. It is crazy. Maybe I'll just pull that up maybe so you guys can see that. Let me just switch the screen here. Pull the Telegram up. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, there we go. I'll just pull the Telegram up. They were going ballistic earlier. So I've just been doing a lot of research and whatnot. And at the time, this is when I don't even think I purchased I might have just purchased ADA on like Coinbase when I first started to look at Cardstarter. I was like, what is Cardstarter? I just seen it naturally on Twitter. People were talking about it. I was a super noob. Like I didn't even hold ADA in a Cardano wallet. Like it was in Coinbase. I didn't even really know much about you know, like staking and how to delegate and all that stuff. I was fresh. So I just started looking and reading, and you know, I was kind of just putting stuff together and learning. So I started to learn, okay, what's an accelerator, what's a launch pad, started to kind of figure out what that was and how that all worked. And I was like, oh, this seems cool. It seems like a great opportunity. Let me see, you know, what I can make happen. They rugged us. I mean, I understand why people are upset, but I don't necessarily agree, but I'm not going to give them a pass at the same time. So just wanted to give background on me and how I even am involved in any of this. First off, I do not have an investment in Cardstarter. I thought about it. I did my initial research, and this is with me being a noob. I looked at Cardstarter and I learned, okay, so you can get in on projects early before they launch. Why is that? Well, they are an accelerator and a launch pad. What they do is they take projects that are new. They basically like put their arms around their shoulders. They give them access to early investment, angel investors, seed investors. They help them with legal. They basically incubate projects in the crypto space. They give them guidance. We got Rekt. I am sorry to hear that, guys. They rugged us so badly in this one. Yeah. I just don't, the term rugged is always thrown around. I don't know what happened. There's a lot of, I'm going to say it's kind of shady, but here's the thing. When I originally looked at it, and I looked at the money that I had in my accounts that I was looking to invest, and I said, this doesn't seem like a good deal at the time. I remember looking at it and saying, whoa, that doesn't make any sense. There was like a project. It was like if you staked like 5,000 cards or something, you would get access to buy early at this really, 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 really low price. And I was like, oh man, I'd love to be able to buy that project at that super low price. I was just barely understanding tokenomics at that point. And I was like, man, I understood that if you can get it super cheap and early, you have a really good chance at making a lot of money when they launch to public market, go into the exchanges. At that time, I didn't even understand what liquidity really was and what it meant to a token. But I looked and I'm looking at the first thing I checked is like, okay, how much is, 1,000, or it was like 5,000 cards. How much is 5,000 cards going to be? So I'm like, okay, let me take a look. And I looked at the price. It was like $70 a token. It was like, I was just like, what? My jaw like dropped. Like, I was like, what? I need 5,000 of these things to even get in a raffle. And it wasn't like if you staked the cards, you were going to get the tokens. There was like a raffle system where you were competing with other people, and there was like tiers. And if you had this many cards, you got a chance at getting this. And I was just like, so I have to spend like tens of thousands of dollars to get a chance to get in on projects. I was like, I don't like this. Doesn't even make any sense. And this was me purely just looking at the price of it. Someone put in a comment, wasn't this shilled by BitBoy a while back? Dude, this token was pumped by a lot of people. That's how I ended up finding out about it. I don't remember exactly who it was, but I ended up seeing, like an influencer or somebody talking about how it was going to be like this great opportunity. The basis of CSWAP was that we get equity in the CardSwap DEX, which merged into SundaeSwap. So yeah, I'm going to get to that, right? So let's go back over to the browser here. I got my tabs. So this was like the catalyst to the storm that happened on Twitter. Was this update that happened? It was either like super late last night or early this morning. I think it was like super late last night it dropped. CSWAP and migration incentive update number 1. Let's go ahead and just read through this real quick. Rewards. With the launch of SundaeSwap, Cardstarter is now one of only 4 assets with priority status in the SundaeSwap ecosystem. This affords members of the CSWAP and LP migration community priority access to yield farming Sundae tokens via CNT cards, ADA liquidity staking on the Sundae deck. So that right there is red flag. Red flag for me. And honestly, it was a red flag for me when I originally looked at CardSwap. And I wasn't thinking in my head that this is a scam or anything like that. I literally looked at it like I am too poor to even be thinking about this platform, this launch pad. I'm going to just buy my stuff at market. That's what I was thinking as a person who had just came out of Robinhood, was buying Dogecoin, and I had Cardano ADA in a Coinbase account. That's all I had. I was fresh, brand new to the scene. I look at the price. I look at how many cards you needed. I looked at what the cards got you. And I said, no, hell no, I'm not doing that. So I just started buying the projects at market. So priority access to yield farming Sundae tokens via CNT cards, ADA liquidity staking on the Sundae DEX. 1, we know that Sundae was going to have problems. We've got a comment here. SundaeSwap constantly let everyone in the Cardstarter ecosystem to believe they would be well looked after. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the sentiment. Everybody seemed to believe that something was going to happen where you were basically going to be swapped, or you're going to be able to trade your CSWAP for like Sundae or something. But then they say that you get priority access to yield farm. Why the hell would I participate in a launch pad for priority access to yield farm? I don't know if this information was provided up front. I'm just looking at this post that was posted 22 hours ago. And if I'm a cards holder or a CSWAP holder, I'm pissed, right? So I understand why people are mad. I just remember that cards was just out of my range of even a remote possibility based on how much money I was willing to invest in crypto. And I said, hell no, I'm out. And I kind of walked away from it. But this right here, so what this is saying, that when they bridge the cards, the ETH cards to CNT, that you then get priority access to liquidity farm. Liquidity farm comes with another round of potential loss. It's risk. So you already risked your money by investing in cards. You already risked your cards by mining CSWAP and holding this for the potential to get in early on a project. Then they say, hey, congratulations, you make it to the next round. And then they hit you with, you get to liquidity farm. I can liquidity farm a bunch of stuff, and I don't. Why would I want priority access to do something that I don't want to do? Liquidity farming is extremely risky. It's two tokens you have to pit. And also, how much money did these people pay for these cards? I know that when I looked, it was around $70. So you're telling me after I spent, how much would you had to have put in to get a decent hold? What, $20,000? And I'm hearing people were putting in more than that. People were putting in $100,000. I saw a guy who said he put in $200,000. And you're telling me that I have to take all that risk that I took with all that money to qualify for your launchpad, and I've got to pair it with another token, ADA, that I've got to buy ADA, or if I already had ADA, I have to risk that ADA, pair it with a token that's unproven in liquidity farm, and I get exclusive or priority access to risk further funds to possibly get rewards in a token that's also doesn't have a price associated with it. Granted, as we know today, Sundae is kind of pumped, but that could change. Sundae could could drop. When people start getting it and SundaeSwap starts putting these orders out, no one knows if Sunday's going to keep going up or if it's going to go the opposite way like the market. So that was a big problem for me right there. So we are today announcing the following. 10% of the total Cardstarter supply will be provided to CSWAP miners and LP migrators as rewards in the form of CNT Cardano native token cards. That equates to the total of 1 million cards tokens. So 10% of the total supply is going to go to people that already risked their butts. That's a lot of people. 100,000. Mr. G put in $200,000 in the pool. No way in hell I would have done that. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell I would have put $200,000 in an LP pool. That's crazy. No way. I wouldn't put $2,000 in an LP pool. That's just me. I'm sorry. This is crazy. Crazy. I am not a finance major. I have no degree in this stuff. This is just like, to me, common sense, right? I'm protecting my money. I'm protecting my interests. I'm not risking 200K in a freaking LP operation. Hell no. Especially after I already assumed risk by buying your token that was really at that point unproven. We lost tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, most of us. Yeah, I'm seeing that all over Twitter. And I'm trying to really like put all the information together and understand what the hell happened. CSWAP miners and Cards LP holders will also enjoy priority status to receive the first Cardano native cards token. I don't think that people did this and bought all of this to get access to CNT cards, honestly. What is CNT cards? What is its utility other than being able to get into projects early? And it seems like you could have already have done that by just holding the Ethereum version. What's the benefit of getting the CNT version? And like, why wouldn't they have a bridge to swap 1-to-1? Like, hopefully that's a thing. And this is completely ignoring the price action. This is ignoring the price of this stuff, right? In the AMA, they called it a merger and they talked about rebranding CSWAP. Yeesh. I'm going to find that AMA video. I might do another video on that. This will position holders to stake card ADA LP to priority access to yield farming on SundaeSwap platform. This will provide cards ADA LP stakers among the earliest opportunities to begin accumulating Sunday tokens through the SundaeSwap platform. This was also, again, since we're in the now, right? We now know that to get Sunday, you didn't need to do this. And what priority did you get? No one's able to get their orders fulfilled. And it's a decentralized DEX, AMM, automated market maker. It can't give you priority. It's permissionless. It's first come, first serve. So if this right here, this statement doesn't even make any sense given what we know about SundaeSwap and how Sunday works. It was never a good deal. Whenever you're talking about liquidity pool and you're talking about paired tokens, that is additional risk. The price on these tokens fluctuates. So you stand to lose one or the other given the price. Again, you're not going to lose value, but you may lose an asset that you want to keep. I don't want to pair my ADA with cards. Why would I want to do that? Brian Davis, you're 100% on point here. It's good to hear someone who is outside of the situation recognizing how messed up this is. Dude, when I originally did my research, and I'm telling you, I at that time when I did the Cardstarter research, I probably had maybe 70% less knowledge than I hold today. And even then I said, this is not for me. And I walked away. I even forgot I was in their Telegram channel. I had to go back and check, say, oh, I am in the Telegram channel. Let me go back and start reading this stuff. But for Cardstarter IDO participants, an additional 6% of the total supply of cards tokens will be reserved for loyalty and staking rewards program for future IDO participants. But the way that they do their IDOs, it's kind of like all over the place. And I looked again when Paribus launched because I was like, I really liked the idea of Paribus, and they were launch padding on Cardstarter. And I looked again, and I don't think it was like $70. It was a little bit cheaper, but it was still pretty damn expensive. And I remember saying, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to buy it at market. And I bought it on KuCoin for like, it was like 0.008 cents. And the people that did the Cardstarter got it for 0.003. So I paid virtually nothing for it. And the people that did the Cardstarter IDO didn't even really get that good of a deal. So in hindsight, I believed it wasn't a good deal twice. One, when the token was like $70. Again, when Paribus launched and it was like $30. And I looked at the way they did the IDO. You weren't guaranteed any slots. You only got a chance at getting a slot to buy Paribus at 0.003. Like, so without even talking about liquidity for the token and the price of the cards token and the price of the LP token, I'm already doing my layman's research saying 2 different occasions at 2 different price points that this is not a good deal. And I'm telling you, today I'm an idiot. Back then I was a bigger idiot, and I'm saying no. Look at CardSwap's Twitter, bro. It's hilarious. Dude, this morning I was blown away. I thought I was still sleeping. Like, it's crazy. Cards LP migration providers. We will soon announce the window for the LP migration provider. Anytime I see LP, I'm just like, ugh. I'm like freaking, Robert Downey Jr. when he's like kind of just rolling his eyes. That famous meme. Like, that's my face whenever I see LP. No thanks. Don't want it. Give me single-sided staking. That is the one thing we pushed with Paribus, and it's the thing we pushed with Giro. Single-sided staking. I don't care about no damn liquidity pools. Let whoever wants to be in liquidity pools do their thing, but it's freaking dumb to me. And I've done previous videos with people doing LP providing on Orion for Paribus, and this dude got freaking wrecked. He lost like half of his freaking coins. It was crazy. I'm not doing it. I'm afraid. Maybe I'm just dumb and ignorant, and there's some trick to it that makes it work out for you. But me doing the math, it's never really worked out for my situation and what I was willing to invest, right? So anytime I'm seeing LP, I'm like, no. Cardano wallet addresses. We will announce the date upon which you can expect the distribution of CNT, Cards Reward tokens. This same mechanism will also facilitate the distribution of Cards ADA LP tokens, which will be converted from Cards ETH LP. Hell no. No, not you. Oh my God. There are people that got ETH super early, and I bought ETH late as hell, and I paid like $1,700 a token for it. There's no freaking way I'm risking ETH for cards. No, in no reality. I don't care if I hit the lottery for $10 million. I'm not putting ETH in a liquidity pool with cards. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. C3 and Giro LP migration providers. The same wallet update window will apply for C3 and Giro LP. I think this is the part people got really mad, and this is how I came into the fold here, because I like C3, Charlie. I think the people on that project are awesome. I really like Giro people. Sean and Chris are awesome. I've done my research like crazy on that project. I watched every single interview that I could find, any article, anything that they were featured in. Really like those two guys. They work really well together. They are legit. They dox themselves. They work for Fortune 500 companies. Shoot, Microsoft, Google, not Fortune 500, freaking Fortune 3. They're legit. Charlie, I know a lot about them. I'm on a lot of their spaces. They bring a lot of value to Cardano. A lot of value. Their projects are in Haskells. They're not even EVM. They are legit, right? And the fact that they were mentioned in this article, even though it's legitimate, you know, they did use the launchpad. They have liquidity that is in Cardstarter that they're going to bridge over, and that's going to stay the same. That's normal. They've already released statements on it. I've got a video that's going to go live on that. So that's legit. But LP migration, LP providing, I'm just not doing it. I have no interest. I'll buy at market. I'll pay the higher prices, but I'm not risking my ADA in with any token that's unproven. Sorry. I'll swap. I'll take ADA and I'll swap, but nah, not going to LP. Members of all three communities will be informed of all relevant dates and deadlines via announcements posted to the Cardstarter Medium, as well as the Telegram announcement channel. So I don't know what they mean by members of all three communities. Are they talking about just the people that like you and me that are just like outside? Are they talking about the project leaders? Are they in communication with them? And I found out this morning through the Charlie chat or the Charlie Telegram that they haven't communicated with them, and they said that they hadn't talked to them in a very long time. So I don't know what's up, but I know that C3 got on a centralized DEX and you can trade without ETH fees. So that was kind of like, maybe they're just taking too long with this bridge and they're looking for alternative routes. I've got videos on that on the channel. You can check those out in the Giro playlist. And I think I have maybe a video in the Paribus playlist as well. Those should be in the description. Yep. Both the Paribus and the Giro playlists are in the description if you want to check that out. This is rough. Migration rewards calculation period is closed. The rewards calculation period for those who have locked LP on the migration cardstarter.io has now closed. The snapshot for migration contributors occurs January 20th, while the migration contract will be available for future LP deposits after the above mentioned date will not be eligible to receive a share of the reward pool tokens. Now that's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's ignorance. I don't understand how these operations work, but the fact that you're doing things that locks out people who have risked their real world money to help your platform have these like deadlines that they have to meet. If they don't meet, then they don't get anything. So what if you're like, I don't know, on vacation, or what if you were in a coma or something? I don't know. What if you lost your wallet? So you're just screwed. You put it in the pool, you supported the project, and you're just locked out. Why doesn't everybody just automatically like get taken care of if they do it? Like that should be a part of the thing, like, right? And I have the same feelings towards Singularity Net in the new net airdrop. It could be ignorance. I don't know why they do this, but they had us hold these tokens in our MetaMask so that they can do screenshots or snapshots. And then they said, well, you have 4 days to register. Why do we have 4 days? I don't get it. Why do we have to do that? Is there some kind of regulation thing that this is about? And if there is, can we get clarity on that? Why it has to be done that way? I just don't like things that don't really make any logical sense. But then there's also no explanation as to why that thing has to take place. So maybe projects can learn from this and do better. But here is something that I wanted to look at. Was the Cardstarter joined SundaeSwap to bootstrap major Cardano DEX launch? This seems to be the point where a lot of stuff went bad. And when I mean bad, I think a lot of expectations were assumed by the community, and no one was really seemed to provide any clarity or release any statements on how this was actually going to work. And you can see posts on Reddit, which I have here, where people are kind of just dreaming up these what was going to happen. Oh, there were people talking about how their cards were going to get swapped directly for SundaeSwap, and they were going to make all this money. And these ideas and these things kind of came from nowhere. They definitely didn't come from the project. So I think I think the lack of clarity definitely helps steer people's emotions and expectations in the wrong direction. We have a comment here. We mined CSWAP to get a share of the CSWAP DEX. Now we get cards for our hard-earned CSWAP just to farm Sunday, just like everyone else. Exactly. I don't understand. What's the benefit of farming CSWAP and dealing with cards for 6 months, maybe even more, just to get access to the same decks that I have access to, and I can pick what token I want to mine with. So I actually have an advantage by me saying, no, I don't want to be involved in cards. I'm not going to get in early on these projects. I'm not going to get in on the CSWAP mining. I made it out better by just saying, no, I'm not going to do it, because now we both have the same access to SundaeSwap. But the difference is I get to pick what token I want to provide liquidity to. You don't. You're stuck providing liquidity to just CSWAP in cards. You're stuck. I'm not. I can pick whatever one I want. I can do ADA in Sunday. I can do Liquid in Sunday. I can do World Mobile Token in Sunday. That's a good one. I would do World Mobile Token in Sunday. You're stuck with just CSWAP in cards. It doesn't make any sense. That's not an advantage. So I can't sit here and say the people are wrong, their expectations were bad. This just wasn't a good deal. And I don't know if they had always intended on doing it this way, but it just doesn't seem right. But I'm still not going to go as far as say that it was a rug pull by definition. It's not a rug pull. A rug pull by definition, because I've seen rug pulls. I've covered rug pulls. Rug pulls would be, you guys got nothing. Nothing's coming to you. The project is gone. You go to their Twitter, the Twitter's gone. Their website's down. There's nothing. There's no trace. They've deleted everything. There's no posts. They've deleted their Reddit. Like, all of that's all gone. Cardstarter's still there. They're still around. Soon to be Jiro and Sunday. I don't know what you're talking about there. Jiro's a real project that stands on its own. I use the wallet. We bought cards at a high price to mine for cards at a loss, and now they are locked for 6 months. Best financial decision ever. Oh, dude, don't rub it in, man. I'm not rubbing it in. I'm just giving people the facts. And again, I'm an outsider looking in. And I am looking at the fact that I was able to look at this from like an idiot's eyes. Like, I'm telling you, the only app I had on my freaking phone related to cryptocurrency was Robinhood. Like, that's how fresh I was. And with that, I looked at cards and was like, no, this isn't a good deal, with very limited knowledge. So I pat myself in the back for being, I don't know, smart enough as an idiot to not get involved. Not saying that it is or was a rug pull. By definition, it's not a rug pull. It's just a really unfortunate and bad investment that happened. But I'm not going to sit here and say that there weren't signs. There definitely were signs, because if I caught them, I don't know how other people didn't catch them. But this article here, the decentralized exchange SundaeSwap announced today that it entered into a collaboration with Cardano project accelerator Cardstarter to support the development and liquidity of the SundaeSwap DEX, which the company intends to launch upon the release of smart contract capabilities on the Cardano blockchain. The agreement will enable the creation of what is currently positioned to be the largest DEX on Cardano blockchain in terms of both total locked value, value locked, and community size. Cards, and the liquidity of its launchpad projects are locked through Cardstarter and meant for a DEX of its choosing. But what I'm hearing and what I'm learning from just, literature posts, I think Cardstarter was supposed to have their own DEX, but now they're saying that they're like, scrap the DEX that we were going to make. We're going to take all the liquidity that we had for that DEX and we're going to partner with Sundae. This TVL can be calculated by measuring the sum of all said project's liquidity, and they're taking all of the project liquidity, not just cards. They're taking all of the money that was raised by all of the projects that were launched on it and that they have locked into their smart contracts, which I don't know if they, what the back end looked like, if they had agreements with these projects that launched on there that said, hey, we have total control of your liquidity. We're going to move it to wherever we want, or we're going to move it to a DEX that we're building, but we can cancel that and take the liquidity and move it to another DEX that we partner with. I don't know if that was a part of anything that anyone signed, if there were any contracts around that at all. I talked to Damien on a Twitter space and asked him if they had any kind of legal binding or legal contracts with Cardstarter, and they said no. The only thing that they have is their liquidity that they raised from the initial offering, and that was the only thing that they had that they were waiting for, that they could do whatever they want, because I questioned whether or what was behind their ability to just launch on ADAX and kind of skip over the whole MLabs bridge. And they said that they could do that with no issues. There's no legal issues. There's no binding. There's no contracts or anything like that. They just don't have liquidity. The other, let me read the rest of this. The Cardstarter liquidity would be locked through Cardstarter, meant for the DEX of their choosing. This TVL will be calculated to be measured the sum of all the projects. And as these projects will have liquidity established off Cardano, ADA, they will therefore be able to commence without delay. The only other ADA native projects with existing liquidity on the mainnet have a fraction of the liquidity of Cards alone. So they know, Sunday knows that Cards has a lot of liquidity locked up. So they wanted it. People are saying soft rug. The term soft rug I've started to hear recently. I mean, if you guys are going to coin and create a new phrase or a new word, a new meaning for, or a new style of rug pull, I mean, if it's going to happen, I mean, this is probably a good example, I guess, if you guys are going to go with that route. Yeah, this is a soft rug pull, definitely not a full on rug pull. The people involved exist in real life, so they couldn't disappear. I don't know. I mean, that's a community thing, I guess. You know, new phrases and words get made up all the time. Soft rug pull. Yeah, maybe I'll do a video talking about a soft rug pull and what that could mean. But yeah, they knew that they had a lot of liquidity. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that Sunday is a rug pull to anybody. They are looking out for their operation. They see a group that has a lot of liquidity locked that they were free to do whatever they wanted with, and they partnered. I don't see anything wrong with this. All the current and future TVL raised from Cardstarter initial DEX offering will be directly funneled to SundaeSwap, where users will be able to swap tokens directly with the most favorable conditions. The most favorable conditions given the significant liquidity provided. So so here's my problem. What users? Because if we fast forward to the present, we're fine. We know that users in this sense meant everyone, including me, who has no cards and has no CSWAP. I was able to take advantage of the liquidity that Cardstarter brought to Sunday. But it could be taken either way. There's no clarity there. What users? Did they mean the people that were LP providers? Because one would assume that. You could assume that. But what does assume mean? Makes an ass out of you and me. So me personally, I wouldn't have assumed that. But I can understand why people did assume that based on the way this was written. The agreement will accelerate the Cardstarter community's access to a smart contract-enabled Cardano DEX through SundaeSwap. Cardstarter views SundaeSwap to be an ideal platform to channel its amassed and growing liquidity. Again, I agree with that. No, that's true. Cardstarter has a bunch of liquidity. SundaeSwap is making leaps and bounds as far as the development of a DEX. It makes sense for them to come together. The CEO of SundaeSwap said we would be looked after. I don't like those statements. What does looked after mean? That's something that the mob would say. We'll take care of you. You'll be looked after. No, I want it in a smart contract. We had the technology, create a smart contract, get the wallets together, set us up on a distribution. You can do that. That's possible. They do that all the time with airdrops. You could have set up an airdrop for the wallets that had the tokens in it. I'm not going to simply just accept you'll be taken care of. I would have started a stink back in July. Not today. Cardstarter was the first to continue to be the best launchpad on Cardano innovators. And the community is a perfect fit for SundaeSwap's DEX, said Mateen Matalou, CEO of SundaeSwap. Adding Cardstarter provides its leadership in empowering Cardano entrepreneurs and investors early on, and we're very pleased to be able to combine forces to make our DEX launch as successful as possible. By backing the community, enthusiasm that SundaeSwap has developed is incomparable in the space, and we are excited for our incubated project's liquidity providers to be adopted into this future combined ecosystem, said Atash Amir, CEO of Cardstarter, adding, the SundaeSwap team has exhibited its technical expertise to us, and we are confident of SundaeSwap's ability to deliver the best product on the market, which they did. Given the network, given the congestion, SundaeSwap is done what we all believed it would do. So well that it's freaking locking the network up. The CEO of Sundae said we would be looked after. Yep. Sunday's team came into our Telegram and told us we would be looked after. That's not. Did anybody challenge them? Man, I wish I was around for that, because I would have asked the difficult questions like I do in all of the other communities that I'm involved in. If you don't believe me, watch my videos, watch the AMAs that I'm in, look in the comment section of my videos of people saying, thank you for asking these hard questions. Thank you for holding people accountable. That's what I do. I am the guy. I'm the pest. I ask the questions that a lot of these groups and a lot of these projects don't want to answer. And shout out to the people that do, like Jiro, Chris, and Sean especially. I asked that dude some hard questions, some stuff that he probably shouldn't even respond to half the time. And I don't expect him to respond to a lot of my questions, but he does. And when people respond to those tough, difficult questions, that is a reassurance to me that they're legitimate. They have committed fraud. Enjoy the lawsuits. Yeah, I don't know how that all works. I don't know what the recourse would be, or, how they would even classify any of this stuff. I mean, we're talking about new terms, soft rug pulls. Like, what's the definition of that? What's the legality behind what happened? Do they have any legal responsibility for the price of a publicly traded token? I mean, there's a lot to unpack there that I just don't have the knowledge around to even really comment on. Honestly, this is really new. This is a first for me, and just looking through all of this stuff for this project, it's really weird. There are a lot of red flags to me, and I get it. Everybody doesn't have my brain or think like me, but there's just a long road of just red flags for me around a lot of this stuff. Just reading this article, if I would have read this in July 2nd, I would have been like, hold up. What do you mean we'll be taken care of? We've got contracts, digital contracts that you can sign on Ethereum that don't just take care of us, literally take care of us. We need to know what percentage of the liquidity we get. All that stuff can be determined and put into a smart contract. They were able to do it to take the liquidity, weren't they? So you're telling me you couldn't do that to redistribute the rewards to the people ahead of time? Come on now. Let's take a look at, this was the original post that they posted. There wasn't a lot of details in it. They actually linked to the Telegraph press release, which this was tagged as a press release. So we read through those two, but I just wanted to take a look at the price also. And it's tumbling. Like I said, I checked the price of cards at the beginning of the month when I was at a vet appointment with my dog, and it was $5. And I was like, man, at $5, it might be a good buy based on the total supply. But then I was like, I don't know, it's probably going to fall even more. And of course it did. It's sitting at 347. And I don't know if this is because of FUD or if because Bitcoin is barfing all over the markets right now. There's just a lot going on to really tell, but based on the total supply, that's a low price. It's a low price. 10 million total, and you're only at 347. It's not good. Let's do max. Hit max. Let's see. It just pumped up. I mean, honestly, in here, in this range right here, I'm panicking. Probably, right? If I would, I mean, I never would have bought, but I'm panicking. How did we go from here to here without a peep? But we get right here and everything is going to crap. I don't really understand that. But again, I'm outside looking in. I don't know what people were being told. I wasn't paying attention to their Telegram. So, you know, a lot of people were saying they were being led on. I don't have any evidence of them not being led on. I don't have any evidence of them being led on. But I just know there's no way I'm going from June to November and I'm just sitting there with my hands folded being nice. Not if I have $200,000 wrapped up in this. Please get in contact with the Cards team and do an AMA. Had a similar experience, just seems too good to be true and too risky to put kind of... Bert, I honestly didn't even think it was too good to be true. I just looked at it and said, this is not for me. I'm not rich enough to do this. I mean, and I'm in here. I do remember it touching 80. I remember looking at CoinMarketCap and seeing that it was $80 at one point. But when I was looking at it for the sake of maybe investing for future projects, it was around $60. And I said that is just too damn much money for me. But it said I had a similar experience, just seems too good to be true and too risky to put the kind of cash in they wanted. Exactly. Feel sorry for everyone that got rugged, but what the hell were they thinking? Again, I thought the same thing. I was like, what in the world? How are people affording this? These must be really rich people. And I wish I could get to that point at some point. But even at 60, I was like, oof. And then it went to 80 and I was like, oh my gosh, people. And then the numbers of cards they wanted to stake to get access to these projects. It was like thousands of cards. I think it was like I think the one I looked at was like 500 cards. And even that was a lot of money. I was like, geez, I don't really have like an extra $5,000 to just throw at something for a shot at getting allocation. No, it needed to be guaranteed if I was putting that much money up. CardSwap is even worse. Look at this. Negative 100%. What the hell happened? On a look at this. On a technical level, and honestly, it was always wasn't really worth a lot to begin with. Like I'm saying, I'm not sitting here in August through November and sitting here going, yeah, everything's sweet. This is cool. I'm okay with this. I'm just not doing that. Not doing it. So I saw this video. This was like one of the only videos really that I found on CSWAP on YouTube. Yeah, I thought crypto meant you didn't need looked after. It's just risky. It's risky as hell. Again, it's all risky, but this is really risky. This is way more risky than I could ever tolerate, you know? So I went through and watched this video, and this guy, he wasn't really shilling it, but I could understand how somebody that was new could watch this video and feel emboldened and be excited, because he was saying things like, oh, SundaeSwap, you know, they're the biggest this, they're going to be this, they're going to be that. But then he would be like, well, you know, it's not, you know, financial advice or whatever. So like maybe he protected himself legally, but I don't know. I just don't like making this kind of content. Even with Giro and Paribus, as bullish as I am on them, I'm not telling people to buy. I'm giving people the facts. I'm telling them about the product. I'm telling them about the roadmap. If they're hitting and they're missing, and they on their own determine whether or not this is something that they should get in. I'm not going to tell somebody to buy something, but I wanted to play this part.
It wouldn't make sense for them to keep competing against one another, because their ultimate goal is to go after Uniswap and become the largest DEX in the crypto space.
So he's comparing them to Uniswap.
That Cardano will overtake Ethereum. CSWAP can still be mined, and the mining vouchers that are obtained will be able to provide accrued significant benefit according to them.
See, so see, he keeps saying, he'll say You'll receive accrued benefit, and then he'll follow up and say, according to them.
Ensures that the benefit is bigger than before. Now, there was one question from the audience asking if the people that purchase CSWAP will still reap the same benefits as those that have mined CSWAPs themselves. The answer was that those people will be taken care of as well. Now, once again, details weren't given, so we don't know in which way, but
that is a red flag. What do you mean? That's what the mafia does. We'll take care of you. That could mean that you're going to get money or you're going to get whacked. I've watched enough mafia movies to know what that statement means.
But it seems as if there won't be a difference between purchase CSWAP and mine CSWAP. Now, more than once did they mention that they couldn't talk about prices, circulating supply, and so on, but only ensure that it will be very beneficial.
I don't like that. What do you mean you can't talk about circulating supply? I totally understand that you can't talk about price, but there's no way in hell you're going to get me to invest in something and you ain't going to tell me what the max and circulating supplies are for that token. Hell no. Red flag.
In this Reddit post made by a top 25 holder of CSWAP at the time of his writing, there have been some speculation going on.
Here we go.
The post starts with some quotes from the team members on Telegram, Twitter, and so on, followed with some tokenomics. He says that CSWAP has a total supply of 300 million with a circulating supply of 287 million and a price of around 20 cents. He mentioned several possible scenarios ranging from 1 CSWAP for 1 Sunday to 2 CSWAP for 1 Sunday to 1 CSWAP for a voucher. I'll link the Reddit post in the description down below so you can read up on that yourself. Either way, within the community there have been a lot of talks going on about the possible 1-to-1 scenario, or even a scenario where
boom, he even puts a message. It's a 1-to-1 scenario, and that's what really got me, because I don't know where this 1-to-1 stuff came from. And they're saying that he's even saying these are non-confirmed rumors.
1 CSWAP will be exchanged for 1.5 Sunday, with half a Sunday being locked for an X period of time.
Like, this is a really elaborate rumor based on nothing. Who said this? Where did this information come from? And why did people start running with it? I honestly feel that people took this post from 4 months ago, saw this in it, quotes and stuff, and then kind of came up with their own theories and what was going to happen and how much they were going to get, and started running with it. And people, again, very naive people, probably saw this on Reddit, saw this in the Cardstarter subreddit. Also, projects, for the love of everything holy, take control of your Reddit communities. Do not have a project worth hundreds of millions, some of them even billions of dollars, and you've got some random person that has no connection to the project running your freaking subreddit community. Get your subreddit communities. Do something. Communicate with Reddit. You've got the clout. You've got the power to make that happen. Do it. The fact that this post was allowed to just exist with all of the speculation on it with no response. There's no moderator in the comments. Cardstarter is not in the comments saying, hey, this is speculation. We didn't say anything about this. Because I'm telling you, if you go to Cardano's subreddit, they have control of their subreddit. They've got bots. When I make a post in there, there's a bot that's warning people about different scams and different things. They just let this exist. They just let it exist. It's just been floating out there for months with quotes from people on the project. And these are bad quotes because this didn't come directly from the project. This was quoted probably from people in the Telegram channel or in a Discord. Who was it? Who said that? What person? For context, this is after the launch. Who said this? Quotes from team members pulled from various sources such as Telegram and Twitter. There's this. Okay, where's the link where I can click on the link and go to if it came from their official Twitter, if it came from the Telegram, and if it came from Telegram, what user, what member of the project said it? That is extremely important. You can't just dump a bunch of quotes, random quotes, and then start building this. He literally built a project plan, and he's not on the project. It's just a guy. And people ran with this. I think this is the biggest problem right here. Was one, you've got some random person in the community that took it upon himself to put together a random collection of quotes from team members from random assorted places, various sources, with no reference links to any of these tweets, any of these references to Telegram or Twitter or Discord or wherever they came from, and by which specific member from Cardstarter. These are all bad quotes. This isn't going to fly. And I'm going to put that on the blame of this guy. I have no idea who he is. He's got 17 post karma and 15 awardee karma. 4 months ago. This isn't even a legit. If you know anything about Reddit, you're not taking this post serious. This guy don't even use Reddit. I barely use Reddit, and I've only had my account for a year. And look at my stats. 3.7K karma. This guy's got 17. And this post has been referenced in YouTube videos. I've seen people referencing this post on Twitter. They were taking this as gospel, and it wasn't. That's another problem that I see in this. This is a big problem, is this link. So let's take a look at what the sentiment is on Twitter right now. CSWAP. Let's hit the enter, refresh. Let's see what's going on. Don't worry, Cardstarter, slow rugged. CSWAP holders. It could be worse. So he posted this 27 minutes ago, and it looks like it's got some value. Let's go refresh on CoinGecko and see if that changed. CSWAP, let's refresh. Nope, it's still flat, 0, 100% L. So I don't know where that's coming from. This is my link where I said I'm going live. This is where I said I was reading up on everything. This post here, Sunday, rugged me for my CardSwap and my CardSwap community. Members likely committed suicide already. That's kind of silly, little dramatic. Unless you have actual reports of suicides happening, don't think you should be saying stuff like that. Also, how did Sunday rug you? Sunday didn't do anything. Sunday did what they were supposed to do. They saw a group of people or a project that had liquidity that was looking to do a deal, and they combined the liquidity into SundaeSwap. The fact that the community, you guys didn't demand a structured plan, didn't get details, I think that is really rested upon more the Cardstarter community and the Cardstarter investors, because from what I've been able to find, a lot of that happened over the course of the last year. SundaeSwap is worthless and screwed all CSWAP holders. No, they didn't. I'm sorry. Sunday is not in the wrong here. Sunday did what any business would do. You acquire assets, you acquire liquidity. It is the people that invest in the project that stands to lose their responsibility to demand answers. And I don't even think that even occurred until today. It's too late. You should have been raging like this in July, honestly. CSWAP community got scammed. By whom? Dear Paul, don't know if you are aware of this massive fraud caused by Cardstarter. What fraud? It sucks that people lost money, but really, there was a lot of red flags that people hit the gas straight through. When they thought that money was going to be made, they didn't care about the details. They didn't care about getting those details. They didn't hold Cardstarter to the flame. They didn't demand that they do AMAs. They didn't demand official statements. They waited because they thought they were going to get rich. They were fueled by hopium. And again, Not saying this is 100% the investor's fault. Cardstarter played a role in what happened to their own token. This is bad. This is bad. This also highlights the importance of building a community that holds projects responsible. And I'm not talking about after bad things happen. I'm talking about before they even get off the ground. If your project's not doing AMAs on a regular basis, there's a problem there. I'm going to be causing a disturbance, especially if I have a $200,000 invested. I'm doing this with thousands of dollars invested. And you're telling me that people weren't doing this with hundreds of thousands of dollars? It's silly. Why would anyone raise liquidity for cards? Sort CSWAP first before any other token. That's the problem with projects that aren't transparent. It causes people to speculate. Exactly. That's why you've got to get on these projects and say, open the door. We want in. You want our money? I want information. I want to know who you are. This is the whole thing. This is, I think, really with Pavia, the land, they have the metaverse. People are piling into that project. They don't even know what the creator looks like. I don't believe Cardstarter rug pulled anyone. I believe that they made mistakes in managing their community, and I believe that the community made huge mistakes in not demanding they manage the community properly. There needs to be transparency to avoid situations like this. But I honestly don't think that they were rug pulled, because they'd be gone. We wouldn't even see any of this stuff. Sounds like SundaeSwap effed over the cards and CardSwap community. They didn't. The CardSwap and cards community effed over themselves by not being active, by not demanding answers until today, until last night. It was, and I don't even believe that it was a slow rug pull. I think it was a slow hopium high. You guys were just on this hopium that, oh, I bought this token with very weak utility at $80. The idea is good. That's why I initially started looking at it. The idea was good until I started doing my research. And then I started to realize, hey, this is probably not a good deal. Nobody is getting away with 30 moves with Manny around. Dude, I'm like a gnat, bro. Like, I want to learn. I want to learn about the project. I'm pushing for transparency. I want to know what you're doing with the money you're receiving. And we start talking about liquidity. I'm skeptical, man. Where's the money going? I want to see the wallet. Where is it locked? When we got on a with Cardano Outreach, we got on a Twitter space, and what were we doing? We were pulling up the project wallets. We were looking at the top 100 wallets. We were looking at the transactions. We were looking at everything. Who has the top 100 wallets? Which wallets, the top ones, have the same amount of money in it? Where's the money going? We were breaking it down, and it looks like there was no advocates at all in the Cardstarter community that were doing things like that. Especially if the team isn't willing to answer reasonable questions asked by the community. You got a problem. You got a damn big problem. And it sucks. I feel so bad for people that lost that much money. But this is a lesson to not just new followers or people just watching this that are just driving by the channel, but for the people that have been following me since day one, watching me ask the questions that I ask these projects in their AMAs. This is why I ask those questions. This is why I'm relentless. This is why I'm following them. I'm looking at the LinkedIn profiles. I'm checking out their interviews that they do. I'm looking for the connections, the real world connections to say, hey, C Fund is behind these guys. C Fund put an investment in. Why did you do that? Get the C Fund guy on the platform. Let's talk to him. Let's ask him questions. I was asking the C Fund guy questions. I was asking, what do you see in Milkomeda? What is DC Spark about? What is your relationship with them? I want to know. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting money behind this? Why are you putting your image on their website? Because this is going to bring people in, just them seeing the image going, oh, they're down with C-Fund, or oh, they're down with this project. I want to know why they're down with this project. What do you stand to gain, and what do you stand to lose if things go wrong? This sucks. And I'm looking at the cards thing. I hope that they can get this sorted out. I hope that they can kind of snap out of whatever they're dealing with, and calm the community down first. If I were them, I would be game planning. I would be in a war room. I would be communicating with SundaeSwap to see what's going on. Why didn't things go the way they went? But honestly, they should have been doing this stuff for the last 6 months. They should have been doing this stuff since the project started. And I get, SundaeSwap is building something really big, and things might have come up, but they should have had some kind of liaison. They should have had some kind of mediator, someone at C-Fund, maybe IOG. And I'm not saying that this is their fault. I'm not saying that this is any fault of Cardano, anybody at the organization, anybody at the IOG, the IOHK, anybody at the Cardano Foundation. It's not their responsibility, but I'm just saying what I would do to ensure things are smooth on my blockchain that is getting ready to change the whole world. I don't want any black eyes anywhere. I don't want some group of ex-Cardano supporters hating on my project. I don't want that. I would do anything I could do to calm the spirits, calm the nerves, calm the tension, to stop this. When I put in cards and I'm an honest person that has no idea what's going on, and I want to do research, and I'm seeing this stuff here, I am worried. I am extremely worried. And then you go through and you start doing the research, because I did surface level research earlier. And I said, oh my God. SundaeSwap is ignoring CSWAP cards community completely. And honestly, at this point, I don't blame them. They are stalling the entire blockchain right now. I wouldn't deal with a bunch of drama that Cardstarter allowed to build for months, and then come running to me wanting me to make a statement or figure something out when my DEX, my AMAM DEX went live and has so much transactions and so many people interested in it that is locking up an entire level, layer 1 block. Layer 1 is completely locked down, 90% plus congestion nonstop. I'm not going to deal with another project's problems. Sorry, but it's not the responsibility of the CS community for this mess, nor should they need to demand AMAs. I disagree, Todd. I disagree. I'm not blindly putting $5 into a project. I'm not going to go and turn on YouTube and go to BitBoy Crypto and watch him spew out 800 projects, and then I just start putting money into them. No, I'm not doing that. It's not their responsibility to protect my money. It's my responsibility to protect my money. There's no legal obligation, and that's people get the SEC and the IRS and all of this stuff. They have it wrong. The SEC is not here to protect your investment. They claim that, but they don't care about you. And if you don't believe that, watch what happens. The SEC is not going to do anything. So the people crying to the SEC and saying that they got rugged and that they got scammed and that this project's a scam, they don't care. They don't care. The SEC is protecting the federal government's. That's what they do. They protect the federal government's interest. They don't care about you. They don't care about a crypto project. These are just facts. And when people are talking about regulation is needed, people are even taking that wrong. Regulation is not what people want, even though they say that. They have to say that because they want to work with the government. They want to be like FTX is a good example. SBF is brilliant. He's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing. He's playing nice with the federal government, just like Coinbase is, because they want to be the first in the door. If you are the first in the door, you become the next Chrysler. You know why people want to be Chrysler? If you go back and look at American finance history, you want to be Chrysler. You want to build a company really big, get a lot of federal backing, get access to loans, but more importantly, become too big to fail. When you fail, the federal government will take the taxpayers' money and bail you out. That's what these exchanges want. Your Coinbase, your FTX, your Binance US, your Crypto.com. They want that Chrysler status of being too big to fail. They want regulatory clarity. They don't want regulation. They don't want to be restricted. They want to be Chrysler, and they want everybody trying to compete with them to be regulated. But they want regulatory clarity to know what rules they have to play by. And then after they play by those rules, get crowned the king, get crowned too big to fail. That is what they want. Communities shouldn't have to demand AMAs. You're right. The project should have a bunch lined up already. Exactly. But if they don't, whose job is it to make sure that that happens? Or I walk. It's my job. I'm the reason why. You know, that's what's supposed to happen. And that's what I did. I liked Paribus. I liked them since day one. I like Giro. But I passed on Giro in the early days because I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like the fact because at that time I was into CNFTs. Giro Wallet didn't support CNFTs. I liked the wallet. I liked the way it looked. I didn't really like much else about it. The roadmap, they were kind of missing a lot of stuff on the roadmap. I didn't say it was a scam. I just put it in my favorites and I waited. I went about my business. I ended up using Uri and I bought my CNFTs. I had a good time. I learned a lot. And then I came back to Giro and I said, oh, the price is down. And I didn't say, oh, they rugged. There's a slow rug pull. I started actually doing more research. Where are they at right now? Because back in the spring, it wasn't where I wanted it. Didn't mean that it was a rug pull or anything. And I started seeing a lot of stuff that I liked. They were offering and doing interviews with people, small channels. They were doing interviews, brilliant interviews, awesome interviews, giving out tons of information on channels that have less subscribers than I have right now. And I barely have any subscribers. I have less than 1,000. They were doing an AMA on a channel that had like 200 subscribers. I like stuff like that. You shouldn't have to demand that. Projects should be willing to do that on their own. They should be ecstatic to get news about their project out there in the wild. Building communities, because the communities will build your project for you. They will fund your project for you. They will take a lot of stress off. They can add a lot of stress, but they will take a lot of stress off as far as building. In a channel with 200 subscribers, have multiple channels with sub 500 subscribers have provided me so much insight and detail on Giro. They've proven that that works. You don't have to go out and get a BitBoy crypto. You don't have to go out and pay a Wendy crypto or whatever her name is. You don't have to go out and get these people that just pump tokens and just have these big giant followings. I know it's alluring, but you don't have to do that. That's the one thing I don't like about SDAO. And I'm going to talk about that in future videos because I'm looking at SDAO. I really like the price right now. I like the technology, but there's just some things that they're doing that I don't necessarily agree with or like. I don't like the shilling stuff. Buy this coin, buy that coin. I'm not doing that. You know what tokens and coins that I like just by being on my channel and following me on Twitter, but I'm not telling you to buy this and buy that at this time. People get mad at me because I talk about trading the tokens. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to trade. We're supposed to buy, trade. We're supposed to hold some stuff, trade some stuff. That's how the game goes. Getting mad about someone making a financial decision just doesn't make any sense to me. But I will tell you, this sucks. This is terrible. I hope that they're right now organizing, putting together some kind of situation where they can back out of this stuff. get some kind of clarity, get some kind of new roadmap built, or create a group and invite the people that are actually legitimate. Cardstarter. Maybe they have to do some kind of KYC. Maybe they do a KYC, they create another Telegram group, or they create a Discord or something. They verify wallets and wallet owners, and they invite only those people into that community, and they are 100% transparent with those people. They apologize, whatever they got to do to get people to calm down, and they advertise, hey, you've got teeth in this game. Bitcoin just dropped to 35K. Yikes. That's a lot. That's a big fall. Hopefully people made the right moves. The holders are holding still, and the people are, maybe they're liquidating. I just don't want anybody to get wrecked. But yeah, a lot of that plays a role in this. A lot of it does. The fact that Bitcoin's falling. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it was a rug pull. I just don't believe it was. I don't believe it was a rug pull. I believe it was a combination of things that weren't done properly by both the project and the community. And there were a lot of the stories that I've seen, people were like, oh, I invested, all of my life savings into this project. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. Why would you do that? None of this stuff is guaranteed, and it's all risky. Everything is risky. There are some things that can move the risk meter up and down, and people just seem to ignore that risk meter just to breathe in the hopium. And I believe that's what happened. I believe the community really fell asleep because they were high on hopium, and they didn't ask basic questions. Basic questions that I asked myself as a total noob to the space that didn't check boxes for me, and I saw as huge red flags. People that had a ton of experience in investing didn't see it. I don't understand. And I'll never understand. Nobody can convince me that they didn't ignore clear and obvious signs that something wasn't as bullish as they believed it to be. And I'm not even sitting here saying that Cardstarter was a bad deal or a bad bet. It just didn't make any sense to me. I didn't like the price point at $60, and you had people buying it at $80. Those are just my 2 cents. This is my opinion. I could be wrong, but I do hope that Cardstarter at least makes an attempt to gather its actual community. I'm not talking about these FUD machines, these people running around and saying that SundaeSwap rugged them or scam them, going around saying that Giro or C3 is involved some way. They're not. If anything, the stuff you're saying about you being a victim, they're in the same boat then. So I don't understand why people are going on the internet or on Twitter talking about everybody needs to pull all of their money out of the projects that launched on Cardstarter. That is FUD. That is ridiculous. You sound like an angry, bitter person if you're doing that. But yeah, I've covered everything that I was able to research today on the issue. We've covered the tweets. We've covered the announcement. We've talked about the SundaeSwap partnership that was extremely vague, had no details attached to it. And the community, after reading that, after being invested in the project, didn't question it. Just took, okay, we'll take care of you, without asking what that meant, what their plans were, or months down the line, still not asking what the plans are. What are we going to be getting? How are we going to be taken care of? Until today. Until the next year. And that's just silly to me. But those are my 2 cents. Again, thank you for anybody that has stopped by, any of my followers, any people that passed by. Thank you for listening to me talk about this crazy situation that happened. I'm going to continue keeping up with it. If there's any new posts or any new information, I'm going to be in the Telegram monitoring, maybe asking some questions. But again, I'm an outsider, so it's not up to me to demand any answers or anything like that. It's up to you to do that. And at this point, I hope you guys are calm. You guys stop fudding, stop trying to pull other projects into this that don't have anything to do with it, and seek your answers from the project itself. And in the project, I hope you understand that a lot of people are affected by this, and you are hurting more than just yourselves by not releasing some sort of statement at least. But I would recommend, my opinion, I would gather people. I would gather the actual investors, not these people that just say, oh, I lost $100,000. Prove you lost $100,000. Once you do that, you're in. But this is a freaking nightmare for a lot of people, it seems. And I hope that they start to turn around